So it's not the first time that we talk about the Vive Cosmos on this channel. We already reviewed the regular version back then when it got out, and here we are this time with the Vive Cosmos Elite, where HTC is trying to push their modularity to the next level. So let's see if it's worth it or not, and what is this Vive Cosmos Elite at the end of the day. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are. So first of all, this is not going to be a full review, of course, because we already covered 90% of the stuff in the review of the original Vive Cosmos, and you can find it over here if you didn't check it out already. Now, what makes this HTC Vive Cosmos Elite, like they want to call it? Well, for that we have to open the box, of course, because in there you're not going to find the usual Vive Cosmos, the blue one with the new tribal controllers, but instead you're going to find Vive wands, two Vive wands, and two lighthouses, and of course with all the chargers for them, the supports to put the lighthouses up on the walls, and of course the chargers for the Vive wands. And this headset that this time is black with two less cameras, but instead a new tracking faceplate for the SteamVR tracking, of course. Now, one of the biggest problems with the original Vive Cosmos was actually the tracking, because it wasn't just good enough to play like shooting games or stuff like that, but you needed a lot of precision. 6 cameras probably weren't positioned in the right way, or weren't like good enough to give a proper experience. And HTC itself recognized it, because HTC came from an history with the original Vive or the Vive Pro, where tracking was the point number one, the reason why you wanted to get the Vive instead of an Oculus back in the day on an inside-out tracking like the Windows Mixed Reality. And because the Cosmos was born with modularity in their mind, well, it was pretty easy to then just slap a new faceplate on front that works like a Vive tracker at the end of the day and give back what was the strong part of HTC back in the day, the controllers and the base station, to have the best tracking possible, the best accuracy that you can have still right now in VR. Now, in theory, this is a great idea because we have just more choices available, and that's great for consumers, because if you want an inside-out tracking headset, well, you can have it with the new controllers and this new software suite and everything like that. And on the other side, if you want the best tracking possible, well, you can have it with the same exact headset, with just a little slightly different in the front. But the problem is that we also have to take in consideration the time that passed. And so we are still having in a box something that is 4 or 5 years old, like the Vive wands that were great at the beginning, the best way to play any VR game. But then, time passed, we had the Oculus Touch, we have the Windows Mixed Reality controllers with more buttons, for example. We had the Valve Index controllers that kind of get very close to perfection, beside all the problems they have, by the way. And well, having back those Vive ones, I kind of feel weird. But let's stop a second this argument, because we have to talk about, of course, how it works with the Vive Cosmos. So this faceplate on the front is completely removable. You have a little switch inside, and taking it out, you're gonna have a naked Vive Cosmos and a faceplate that is pretty much a Vive tracker, as we said, with all the different points that are gonna receive the rays from the lighthouses, and the connector on the back that's just gonna power it up. So this is pretty much the core of the Elite version of the Vive Cosmos. Now, this piece by itself is gonna cost around $199, and it just snaps back in and you're pretty much good to go. You can play everything. Now, we don't have to talk much about the tracking, of course, because it's the Vive tracking. We are really used to that. It's the best on the market still, even if you have the fact that you have to put up the lighthouses and stuff like that, and all the setup may be a little longer than what it is inside out tracking, and you can't really bring it around. Well, we know that is possible and it works very, very well. But if modularity is made to have choices, well, it's kind of weird that we have this headset with these part in the front. We have 4 cameras because we have 2 on the side and 2 on the front, and we can't have, like, for example, inside-out tracking if we want it. At the end of the day, they're gonna come out also with the HTC VIVE basic version without the 2 additional cameras that we saw, for example, in the Vive Cosmos, and that is gonna work like an inside-out tracking also without controllers. And well, that doesn't happen over here because trying to get this thing out and run it directly on Viveport, for example, well, it's going to install new drivers for the regular Vive Cosmos, but then you're not going to be able to use it at all. It's like that the software required to have a faceplate in front. That is going to be a dull one, like the one without cameras that we're going to have in the future, or the Vive Cosmos one. If you remove it, well, nothing is gonna work. And that's such a letdown because I know that probably not many people are gonna use it in both ways. But you know, having an headset that you can just bring around and use it everywhere you want with the inside-out tracking, and then slap in the new faceplate and use it with the great SteamVR tracking, well, would be really a great option. You know, choices, yes, modularity, yes, but for now it's kind of limited. Of course, these are going to be fixable via software. I don't know if they are really interested in that, by the way, but it's kind of odd that there's not the possibility already. At the end of the day, we have cameras all around. And another thing about these cameras is that there's no pass-through, there's no option to see what's going on around the world. We had that option with the original HTC VIVE Cosmos, we have the option with the Valve Index, we had the option with the Rift S, with the Quest. It's kind of odd we don't have any pass-through right now on this Elite version. That should be Elite, right? Now we know about the visual quality. This is one of the headsets with the highest resolution on the market, 1440 by 1700 each eye. That is very, very high. But at the same time, this design with a flip-up display, for example, and not really a way to make the lenses closer to your eyes, well, the FOV is still very limited for an headset that is called Elite. And of course, they didn't change the base of this headset, so it's still pretty hard to find the sweet spot with those lenses. I actually just changed the lenses with the Gear VR lenses. So far, pretty impressive, and I'm probably gonna work on a through the lenses video so you can see if you can actually make the clarity much better. And you know, you don't lose much FOV because we didn't have much FOV to start with at the end of the day. I find that it's great the fact that we have the possibility to have back the SteamVR tracking when it comes to an HTC product like the HTC VIVE Cosmos. It's great that we can finally use it in a proper way to really enjoy the games much more. But at the same time, as I said before, going back to the Vive ones after using the Valve Index controllers or the Oculus Touch, well, it kind of feels out of time. Also because we are paying a premium price, an elite price, for this headset that is $899. Now, we are paying $899 for a technology that is pretty old. When you compare it with the Valve Index for $999, that is very expensive, let's be honest. You have new controllers, you have Lighthouses 2.0, and you have more FOV, for example, a little less resolution, but it's not really that easy to notice. So should you consider, well, we are in a weird world where the Valve Index is always sold out at $999. The Rift S is always sold out at $399. The Quest is always sold out at $399 or $499 because you can use it also as a PC VR headset with the Oculus Link connection. We have a Windows Mixed Reality that we can't find anymore. The only one still on the market is the HP Reverb, but they're actually coming out with a new version because we have some rumors about it lately. So I don't know if I will jump on it because also that had its own problems. So, well, we have this headset that is now available. It's $899, so a little expensive, but with the possibility probably in the future to just take this out and use it and it's an inside-out tracking headset. Or if you want to spend another $299, they have wireless adapter because this is the only headset with the possibility to be used wireless. What is the Vive Cosmos? Why should you consider and why not? Well, if you really need something right now, this is an option. It has a great tracking, you can enjoy every single game on SteamVR, and the resolution is pretty good, but the sweet spot is not the best. It's a little expensive, but we don't have many choices, do we? So to conclude, what do I think about this Vive Cosmos Elite? Well, to start, I don't really understand this Elite in the name, because if Elite is going back 4 years to the original version of the HTC VIVE, well, it's kind of an odd choice. Of course, it's kind of sad that they ditched the new controllers and they went just back to the original VIVE ones. If instead they were giving new controllers and the new base station 2.0, well, that would be a different argument, because $899 could be actually a very good price. But they don't. We still have an older technology there, so it just feels very, very expensive compared to the competition. This could be an okay headset to have, but the Valve Index is there, and with just $100 more, you have a better audio, you have better FOV, you have a better screen for color reproduction, for example, you have better controllers, you have better tracking because the area, it can be bigger. So, you know, there's a lot of things that you lose for just $100. And yes, it's not available right now. This is available, so this is for sure an option. On the other side, Elite probably means that you actually get in this new ecosystem where you can have wireless, something we don't have with any other manufacturer. That you can add Vive trackers to have full body tracking, for example, or use all different kind of accessories that they use. You have a flip-up screen that is very nice if you are working on the PC while using VR, for example, if you are a dev or stuff like that. But yeah, it still retains this very high price and it's not that perfect headset, this premium headset that kind of deserve this Elite name. But let me know what you think about it. Are you considering the Vive Cosmos? I know that it was a little rough with this kind of review, but the idea is that this could be a great headset, but the price is just too high to justify it. And well, if you want to justify it because it's the only one available, go for it. But remember that you're buying something that uses an older tech and you pay like it just came out yesterday. In this channel, I want to be honest every time because I put up my face for then you to choose what you get. So, well, you know my idea, you know how to move. If you really need a VR headset in this quarantine time, well, this is an option for sure. It's nice to be back to a great tracking and forget a little the missteps that we had at the regular Vive Cosmos and that tracking that really didn't work. But at the same time, paying premium for something that old, it's still kind of odd. Anyway guys, I'm gonna let you know if with these new lenses something is gonna change. It's already much better when it comes to clarity, so I can't wait to talk a little more about it. I really need to try more stuff before, and maybe it could be a life changer there, right? So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more VR tech, and I see you guys next video. Thanks for watching again. Ciao.